I would suggest that enterprise education has become extremely important over the last decade, particularly in relation to the growing recognition of the importance of enterprise and developing an enterprise economy. Universities and schools have responded very positively. There's been a huge increase in the number of courses, although those have been predominantly placed within business schools and focused predominantly also around the activity of starting one's business, which again captures only one output and one activity associated with enterprise. Are we fit for the future? It's a very good question. I think, bearing in mind what I've just said, no, I don't think we are fit for the future yet. I think there's a great need for higher education institutions to embed enterprise much more broadly across the curricula and also institutionally. The main challenges are how can we institutionalise enterprise in a meaningful way, and that requires, I think, strong leadership from the top of most institutions. I think it needs to have, enterprise needs to be developed with a degree of parity of esteem with other taught subjects, and of course that is a research issue as well as a pedagogical issue. So the challenges, how can we embed enterprise across broader topics, broader subjects is an interesting one, and one in which I think it requires us to develop and maintain the credibility of enterprise as adding value to traditional disciplines such as medicine and history and geography, for example. Well, what actions can we take? I think the work of the various enterprise-orientated networks is crucial in sharing and developing best practice. It's really important that we engage more broadly with a set of practitioners. The current set of practitioners tend to be the ones focused around the business schools, and I think it's important that we reach out beyond that group of practitioners to as I mentioned earlier, to include those teaching in wider disciplines. So that's one thing that we need to do. I think the networks need to be more inclusive in that regard, and one of my hobby horses is that I think higher education enterprise networks need to be more inclusive and cognizant of the fact that we work not in a vacuum, but within the educational sector, and therefore we need to work much more closely, I feel, with schools and FE colleges.